here at Giants training camp and joined by head coach Joe Judge. Big day today, Joe. You get your running back back. How'd Saquon look?
Yeah, it was nice having him back out there with the team. You know, obviously this is more of an extension of his rehab. We're going to keep bringing him along, ramping him up, but he looked good out there. You know, it was good having him back with the team. I know he's been chomping at the bit. You know, biggest thing with him is you got to tap the brakes a little bit on him, kind of look out for his best interest, because look, dude's a competitor. He wants to get out there. Already he's looking to go 11 on 11, but we'll kind of get to that in due time. We look good out there today.
So, Joe, second year with this football team, how has it been incorporating in your personality into this football team?
It's been good, man. I mean, look, we're pretty open. You know, the one thing I encourage every player and coach to be is themselves. That's it. So if you're just kind of yourself every day, you're never lying to anybody, you don't have to go ahead and try and fabricate anything. Our guys are very transparent. We're very direct with them, very honest, very open. We talk a lot. We explain the process, why we're doing things, how the result's supposed to be there, and how we're going to get there. So that's all been very good for relationship building throughout the time of being here.
Joe, as we talk more about Saquon, what are you going to look for him as these days and weeks move ahead to know, hey, he conceivably could be ready to open the season with us?
Yeah, well, it's not just me. I mean, obviously it's a medical team, it's a rehab team. There's some doctors involved. So as they keep green-lighting it, we'll keep letting him go further and further. My job is when they say he can go to this point, to coach him up and make sure he does it the best way.
Does he push you, though? Does he push you?
Oh, look, this guy, he's great. He's in my office all the time. I can do this, get me in this, can I do this? He's already out there today asking about doing a couple different drills today. I'm like, you already know that's not going to be permitted, Saquon. So we got to back you off a little bit right here. But look, he's making progress. We're happy with what he's doing. He's got a great attitude. He's been a tremendous leader the entire time. You know, being away from the team as far as being active for games last year, he stayed involved. This offseason very challenging for him, but with new faces coming in, with draft picks, free agents, this guy's been like the Walmart greeter. He's done a great job kind of getting everyone involved in the program, and he's really been a strong leader for us.
Joe, how important was it for you guys to get guys like Kenny Galladay, draft guys like Kadarius Toney, to put around Daniel Jones, to help develop him, to help him get over that hump as a quarterback?
Well, as you know, it takes all 11 on the field. So we got to make sure everyone's doing their job to help number 8 out. But look, it's a team game. We're very happy with all the guys that we added. Kenny, KT, there's a number of other guys, Kyle Rudolph, there's a number of guys we added in free agency, John Ross. I could sit here and name every name. But we're counting all these guys to come in, compete for a spot, and help make this team better.
If there's one thing Daniel, I think, already has learned, Joe, is the spotlight here shines pretty bright. How has he impressed you, because I think he has, in terms of how he handles all of the stuff that goes along with being quarterback of the New York Giants?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing we try to press on our players, and Daniel's done a great job of this, is, look, you're in New York City. First off, it's supposed to be tough. It's not supposed to be an easy place. It's a tough market. People are tough-minded. They expect excellence. We're expected to give it to them, and that's the result. I mean, that's the expectation. Now, we got to make sure we keep our focus day by day to improve. If you try to go ahead and take on everything out there, you know, you'll drown in it. So you just got to keep your focus day by day. What's my job? What's my focus? What are we working on today as a team? And just get a little bit better each day in that. If you can keep your focus there, which Daniel's done a great job of doing, you know, we're all going to go ahead and have success.
Coach, what's been the most fun battle that you've seen? Because I sit here and I watch your defense and I look at just all the guys you got. I look at that secondary. I look at the linebacking core, the front four. And I'm, you know, to me, everyone talks about Dallas. And when I talk about this division, I'm like, man, look, the Giants are the team that scares me, because if that offense can figure it out, that defense is just so talented. But what battles have you enjoyed kind of watching your team go through to create that competition and get better?
I think there's a lot of competition right now at obviously the defensive back and receiver position, and that's something that, you know, has come out every day in practice and how they play. And it's like any training camp that you've been in. It's one side goes one day, the other side pushes back the other day. So there's never been a flow to it. We got to be more consistent across the board. But I'm gonna be honest with you, for me, it kind of always gets back in the trenches. And I love watching the bigs play, the offensive line, defensive line. And for me, it always starts with running the ball, stopping the run, then covering kicks. But you know, you've got to do this first two essentially well. And it's run the ball, stop the run. That's the bigs up front. So we got to make sure that, you know, keep improving those areas. But to me, when it's one-on-one pass rush, 2-on-2, 5-on-4 games, you know, team run periods, things of that nature, that's kind of the things that I kind of earmark every day on the schedule of I know where I'm going to be during practice.
How about the O-line, Joe? Do you watch them and say, I'm seeing them improve every play,
Absolutely.
every down,
yeah,
every
absolutely.
Okay.
Every day you've got to see some improvement in some avenue. Now look, there's always something to learn off, something to teach off of. We get in there every day in the meetings, we teach them this is what happened in practice, here's what was wrong, but here's how we're going to fix it, and here's how it's supposed to look. And the next day we make sure we start out with the install and the focus of what practice is supposed to look like. I've seen a lot of improvement. The most encouraging thing, you know, with the offensive line, it's got to be 5 guys playing as one. Right now we've got a room with more than 5 guys in it. Okay, but they're all playing as one. We're trying to mix different guys in, not just have that chemistry of 5 guys, but throughout the course of a season, there's going to be different guys. They may play 7 or 8 per game, based on things that may come up in the game, situation, or whatever the game plan may be. We'll make sure we have chemistry across the board. Right now, they're communicating very well, they're working hard very well, and they respond to the adversity. And that's what we're looking for right now, is when the challenge is thrown down, how do you respond? You had a bad day yesterday? All right, that's behind us. How do you take the correction and move forward?
Coach, I just love everything you're about. I love your energy, even the way you're doing this interview. I tell people all the time that special teams coaches, special team coordinators, they're different dudes because they have to deal with so many different type of personalities that you got to kind of put all together in jail in one unit. You know, what can you say to the rest of the guys out there who want to be in your position one day, who want to be a head coach who comes from that special teams background?
I think it's different for every one of us. Obviously, this is my first time doing it. So for me, there's a lot of on-the-job learning, but there are things that prepared me along the way for what I have to do. And one thing that definitely helped is addressing the team every day. You know, you start off every day in a squad meeting, you're talking to everybody, and that comes with figuring out personalities. You know, look, there's a lot of things as special teams coordinator you got to ask a player to do that may not necessarily be first on the list right away. You've got to explain to them not only why they're important to do that job, but how it's significant to impacting the game positively for the team. And you got to get them to buy in. I think it's important to go ahead and lay it out for the players of how the team goal directly meets their individual goals. And you got to really get one-on-one with the people, and you got to know the people in the locker room. It's really people business. You know, coaching, there's X's and O's, but again, this isn't playing Madden, it's not fantasy football. It's about interacting with guys on a daily basis. It's a long season. If you don't have relationships with these guys, if they can't trust you, there's no way you're going to make it through the adversity throughout the season.
Joe, we could talk to you all day. We will
All
not.
day, all day.
But on your way out, can I just ask you, I know you were an Eagles fan at one
Growing up,
time.
yes, I was.
And given how last season ended, did any part of Joe Judge, when the schedule came out, circle those two games against the Philadelphia Eagles this year?
No, look, I'm a New York Giant. And, you know, we got 17 games, so there's 17 games we circled. The first one up is Denver, but right now we're worried about the New York Giants and getting ready. We'll actually have the Jets this weekend. Preseason's a little bit different of a focus. This isn't directly against the opponent you're playing, always a lot more towards your internal install and your evaluation on your players. But right now we're focused on every game going forward. But, you know, we got to put our foot forward tomorrow and just be the best New York Giants we can be before we worry about anyone else in the NFL.